So what were the minimum qualifications to join the railways in your time, when you joined? What did you have to do?
There's a joke, that Anglo-Indians were called a railway caste.
Oh, okay.
And one
a caste of your own.
Yeah, one of my friends joked with me and he said, you Anglo-Indians, he said, you are so talented, but you don't aim high. After fourth form, it's platform.
Okay.
So it was, very elementary. You just had to be strong. You had to be an Anglo-Indian. You had, your father,
you could read, write.
good pedigree, read and write, of course.
Yeah.
And you got a job. But as I explained to my friend and to others, that platform became our performing stage.
True, true.
No doubt we were given roles.
Yeah.
But we did full justice to those roles. Our performances were...
Was it that also the railway didn't demand a kind of academic background, or was it just you had to be sharp mentally, just enough to handle machinery? Was that the...
That was one of the reasons. They didn't want overqualified people.
Okay.
There were people who were
the overqualified buggers, as they say.
They said they are going to clean the engine, dirty their hands and all that. So
that's true.
At that time, without casting aspersions, but other communities, they were like, Babu-ish, they wanted white-collar jobs.
Yes. Yeah,
clerks
sure,
and all those
They
other things.
aimed at those jobs.
Yeah. But, working on a steam engine,
yes,
or even say, as a guard in those days, was quite a tough.
And every bit of brass was always shiny.
Yes.
There was a great pride in all those
The driver himself used to polish.
So was the driver like the master of a ship? Was he the Lord God, all he surveyed?
Yes, that's right. He was master of all he surveyed.
Yes.
And in fact, now, some of the, subordinates call the driver master.
Oh, they do?
His, first fireman and second fireman, they call him master.
Okay.
Though he was the master, he was always the master.
But being right at the head of the train, I've seen movies where you get visuals of the track running towards you at awesome speed. It looks frightening as hell. How did they shut out the thought of things going wrong, or they had so total faith in it? You can drive at those breakneck speeds.
There was something called enginemanship. The first thing is that you had to know the section. Okay. You had to know the road. You had to know, where the up gradient came, where the down gradient came, where the level crossing.
Every bend in the track.
Every bend. And certain sections that were dangerous. So there you had to control.
Okay.
There was something called caution orders. So
right.
you were given those caution orders, the chart of the section, and you said between kilometers so-and-so to so-and-so, you have to reduce your speed.
So these are notified to you by the signals on the side?
Yes, they were.
No, you need more than that?
Yeah, no, there was there was signage also which said, 20 kmph,
yes.
30 kmph. And you were also sometimes issued with an instruction. As a driver, you had to sign that between this station and that station.
Where do you get those papers to sign? You're always on the engine. where do you
At the start of the journey, you were given these things.
Okay.
And there was a reason for it, because, somewhere the track was being repaired. Somewhere a bridge had a bit of a crack.
Oh, yes.
So you couldn't,
see gangmen on the side and the train slows down.
That's right.
So what was communication between trains those days? Or between the engine driver and the railways by themselves? They couldn't shout at them?
No, there was practically no communication. In between stations, there was no communication.
Nothing at all?
Nothing at all.
So it just depended on the engine driver's skill?
Yes, it depended on the engine driver's skill.
Okay. So and were there various grades in engine drivers?
Yes, there were. You started as a grade C driver or a goods driver.
Okay.
You were, qualified, or you got a certificate. They were given a certificate.
Okay.
So
there was some testing authority?
Yes, there was a testing authority. So to drive only goods trains, grade C.
Okay.
And then you got promoted to grade B. It's a passenger driver.
Okay.
And then grade A, which was a male driver. And then after you had these, special trains, super fast Rajdanis, they call them A special drivers.
I know, because as a non-Anglo-Indian myself, and having grown among a lot of Anglo-Indians, I know the certain pride that they used to talk about either their father, their uncle, or somebody being a male driver, which couldn't understand the significance of it till much later, when I know how much more responsible those trains are than those slow-going goods trains. I guess you guys must have known about it all through your life.
Yes, Anglo-Indians did take a pride in their, pedigree, railway pedigree. And you said, my father was a male driver. In fact, We used to call it our grandfather's railway.
Probably was.
And it was a great provider for us, So we gave it back all that we could give it.
So what's the situation with Anglo-Indians and the railways today?
There are very, very few. Very few. And I would say you could count them, in important stations like, say, where I come from, Khurda Road, or where I'm staying now, Visakhapatnam, which was Voltaire.
Yes, Voltaire Uplands, all I remember.
Yes. So the Anglo-Indian content is very, very less now.
All right, so it's a pity. That's the way the railways are going, but that happens with every community and every nation. So when you come back, we'll find out what are the Anglo-Indians now doing on the railways.